Time for topic of the show. Each week we take a special item from the Nintendo pipeline and break it down bit by bit. And today's topic of the show is the latest Nintendo Direct and our reactions to that. Whether or not we thought it was good, bad, and what it means for the 3DS, Wii U, and the upcoming Nintendo NX. If you're listening to this snippet, you can listen to the whole show on youtube.com/Koppai Gaming, as well as iTunes, SoundCloud, and more by searching for Koppai Podcast. So, Zach.
Yes.
Title of this video, New Nintendo Direct Reaction / Hype. Because we are hyped.
Yes, I'm hyped.
You left this direct with little tears in your eyes. You were like, Kaz, you gotta go watch this. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm at work. By the way, quick disclaimer, Nintendo, what the crap are you thinking? 9 a.m. like Central Time on a Thursday, people are going to work. 8 a.m. Mountain Time, people are going to work.
Everybody's back to school, back to work.
Like
what
the families you're appealing to, those parents are at work right now, the kids are at school right now. Not a good time. Do this in the freaking evening like every other PlayStation meeting has been, or Xbox conference, or like it's during the summer or something. I mean, 8, 9, and 10 a.m. respectively, like across Mountain Time, Central Time, and Pacific Time. Crap times. Now 7 a.m. for Pacific Time, not bad. You wake up early before you go to school, you watch some cool Nintendo news. I don't mind doing that. I've woken up early before my little meetings and stuff to watch Nintendo stuff.
And to be fair, it was that time for certain regions. And
for one region, it was 7 a.m. for...
And to their credit, I mean, let's say they didn't want to do it August 31st. Okay, this is going to be a September 1st Direct. Would you rather have the Direct there, ready for you, uploaded at 7 a.m., or would you rather wait until 9 p.m. in the evening?
I'd rather wait till 9 p.m. and be a part of the whole experience with everyone else.
I guess, but you could make the case, I guess, for both sides. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's you get the information sooner. You have it there waiting for you. If you avoid social media, it's kind of like you're there in the experience, but I guess you're right, because
I wouldn't know any better if it was in the evening that it could have been early. Like, you could always say it could have been earlier. It could have been Wednesday. It could have been Wednesday morning, you know?
But I'm saying, if they set the date for September 1st, and it had to be on that date,
it didn't have to be. It didn't have to be.
It could have been E3.
You're dismissed.
Could have been.
That's the whole thing. It should have been E3. I was ready at E3. We were sitting right next to each other. We were supposed to live stream the whole thing, and we didn't.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, when I watched the Direct, I was pretty blown away by a lot of what I was seeing. You know, right off the bat, pretty much, with the Super Mario Maker for 3DS is pretty insane. I think we've talked about that on the show before, about
how amazing that would be.
Yeah, and then they actually did it, and it made me think, how long have they been planning this? Along with Woolly World, have they known that they're going to be porting this for quite a while and just haven't talked about it at all? But I was pretty blown away by those things, but at the same time, I can see where maybe some people are like, these aren't really new, you know? It's like Super Mario Maker has been out for a while. You're porting it to the 3DS. Cool. Yoshi's Woolly World, you're porting it. Cool. And then really Pikmin is sort of that big final reveal that was I guess that I could say that's probably my most hyped game that they showed.
Interesting.
It is, I just love the whole puzzle and the solving these with the Pikmin sort of charm to it, and the puzzle elements of the Pikmin world, not just any sort of puzzles, but sort of trying to find the pieces and battling using your Pikmin, knowing what amount of certain ones to have, you know, that are strategically advantageous for this situation. It's I'm excited to have that on a portable experience, and to just be able to sit anywhere, and also to just have it in a new sort of format, to have a side-scrolling Pikmin. It's a new genre of Pikmin. It's like taking Mario kind of in the 3D space. It's taking Pikmin and putting it in a new sort of space that I think looks really right to me. I think it looks absolutely perfect. I think some people were a little bit like, this isn't Pikmin, and I don't know why you're doing this, but I was like, yes, this is...
I'm glad Olimar's back. That's my biggest hype for it. I loved Alf, Brittany, and Charlie or whatever.
I heard a lot of people though complaining, I really hope, because Miyamoto did say, like quite a while ago that Pikmin 4 is about done, and it's like now we see this is this the Pikmin 4 that he was?
I bet it is.
Yeah,
So
I suspected that too. I was like, how else? Like, what other explanation could there be that he's talking like a couple years ago about a Pikmin game that's getting close, at least like about a couple years ago, I think it was.
yeah, it was like right after Pikmin 3. Like,
And so yeah, it had to have been this title, and
so
it seems fully fleshed out. It seems great. Like it seems like there's some new enemies in there that are really cute,
yeah,
and like I don't know, it just looks awesome to me, and I love the peaceful vibe of Pikmin and the calm music and just so relaxing and just going on a little adventure. And it's even like kind of Bill's overlay voice, when he's talking about it. It's kind of like a world of Pikmin, and it will truly be an adventure. It's like
yeah.
just
And you had those Pikmin shorts on the 3DS, like exclusively. Like, I mean, yeah. Real quick though, I want to pull it back before we get to so we'll talk about Pikmin a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I want to pull it back a little bit. So we asked the question, was an overall good direct? I say yes. You said yes. There was some hate for it online. I mean, they said right up front this is going to be a 3DS direct. So anyone expecting Wii U or NX stuff, get out. Get them out. Like, this was a perfect 3DS thing because they covered big first party stuff as well as the obligatory, like, indie reel and, Disney Magical World. Like, to be honest, the Disney stuff sells. Like, kids are buying that on the 3DS. You gotta give them time for that. Good direct. Amazing direct, actually. Like, probably 9 out of 10 direct, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 2. Do you think we'll see something similar for the Nintendo Wii U? Like a Wii U direct this holiday season, or was that it?
That was it.
Do you think do you think like the Wii U then, besides Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, like do you think it's dead basically, like no new releases?
I think that they're releasing these sort of color splash, mini little videos, and they're kind of releasing the Breath of the Wild, weekly sort of new items or new weapons sort of thing. I think that's kind of the way that they're promoting the last bit of their Wii U stuff. They said they had a final little Wii U presentation. I forget when, but didn't they have one where they announced Color Splash? Wasn't that earlier this year? Like the last one that they did, where they announced that? Maybe. But I feel like they already did their last Wii U Direct, and like now we're kind of just getting like these Facebook videos of the promotion for those last couple games. But really, I mean, the NX is going to be announced here anytime. It'd be a complete waste. I think that the 3DS, especially if they make it compatible with the NX, has the most like logic behind promoting it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think the Wii U is dead. Yeah, it's dead.
I mean, dead in the sense of like no future for it. If you don't have a Wii U yet, like I still think it's a completely amazing console to get.
I would wait until they announce. If you don't have a Wii U right now, I would wait a couple weeks or at least however until
I see that.
Because then they might, if they announce the NX, they might announce port of Super Mario Maker, they might announce port of Mario Kart 8, Smash. Yeah, so then it'd be like, oh, I don't know why I just purchased a Wii U, because there is that huge possibility that a lot of these Wii U games are going to migrate over there. And then there's the chance that 3DS games will be ported over there, but I would also say that would be more of a system that I'd recommend, like, if you don't have one of those.
If we find out that the NX is not backwards compatible with Wii U games, I say that's your safe go ahead to get a Wii U.
Yeah.
Because I do think the Wii U, even though it didn't get maybe completely utilized to its potential, like as far as new games coming out this holiday season and all that, like a new full Metroid, a new whatever, that if you get a Wii U, even right now, like you get Zelda Wind Waker HD, Zelda Twilight Princess HD, you're gonna get Breath of the Wild, you're gonna get 3D World, you're gonna get Mario Maker, you're gonna get New Super Mario Brothers.
It's an amazing console.
And Luigi,
perfect.
like it's a perfect console. And if the NX can't play the Wii U games, get out and get a Wii U right away. Like the Wii U is not dead in that sense, but as far as its future, this is the end. And I don't feel disappointed with it at all. I've gotten so much joy out of my Wii U. a year ago, this kind of episode would have pained me to say, like, the Wii U's dead, long live the 3DS. But I'm fine with the Wii U's death now, in the sense that I think the future is still bright with Nintendo, and I think they've wrapped it up pretty nicely. I think they could have maybe done better about, like, maybe Breath of the Wild, like maybe getting that out this holiday season and then just having the NX version come out later. But as a business stance, that doesn't make sense. I think it was kind of a slap in the face to Wii U owners that have been waiting for it forever. But yeah, that's to be expected in the modern just game industry. So question number three, what is that? What do we think this means then for the NX with this Nintendo Direct of the 3DS? With so many games coming out in 2017 and this rumor that there's going to be support all the way to 2018, does that mean the NX is going to be able to play these new 3DS games? Does that mean we're going to be getting new 3DS games alongside new NX games? And are we supposed to carry around two portable consoles?
That'd be silly.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that'd be silly. So is that the expectation?
A thought I just had is, I mean, we've had the 2DS come out now. They keep putting out new iterations of these consoles. Like, they keep producing new 3DSs. Like, we probably should mention that they announced that Galaxy 3DS, Reggie Space.
Oh, yeah. That's, I don't think we mentioned that in the Nintendo pipeline, even though that's the thumbnail.
Yeah. Yeah, here's our mention of it, but yeah, they released this new interesting sort of almost like, what is it, the skin girl or whatever things that they used to do online, like those.
Oh yeah, those crap skins.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got the thought of when I saw it. It's like, okay, like, it's kind of nice, I guess. Like, I don't know what they're thinking really with that one, but yeah. I mean, there's a million like modern looking, brilliant designs they could go with, and somehow it seems like they just looked up Purple Galaxy on Google.
Well, it seems to me like it was supposed to be the theory online is that it was supposed to be a Metroid Federation Force themed 3DS, and then without the really like huge reception to Metroid, they kind of just took off. Like, people even photoshopped like the Metroid Federation Force like characters on there, like all four of them kind of spread out.
Yeah,
and like they filled it so well, like it looked so perfect, and people think they may have just cut them out of that.
Yeah, that's an interesting theory. I was thinking also too, like, they just did the whole NES Classic, like the mini NES with
the retro
commercial
Galaxy,
Stars things. But yeah, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, the 3DS and the 2DS. Like, it seems with all these like different iterations and just constantly producing them, it's like seems pretty inexpensive, this hardware, to make these now. Like, yeah. Especially the 2DS. Like, the 2DS has just gone down dramatically in price. To put the hardware or the ability to play 3DS games, even without the 3D feature, it seems would be even cheaper. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't. It would seem like a pretty, like, stupid thing to not have the simple ability to boot into a 3DS mode or something like that, you know? Because, I mean, it seems pretty easy. It seems like there's not a lot, maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see, like, how they do it, but it just seems like definitely a high possibility that these could play it. But also, the one thing that makes me slightly doubt it is also at the same time, like, the same thing that they keep making a lot of these new systems, and maybe they do want people to have two consoles. Like, it's not the smartest idea, we would think, but maybe that's just something that Nintendo's like, buy a 2DS, buy a 3DS, buy an NX.
Yeah, because I think, and there's the rumors out there that we're using cartridges again, that we're using SD cards for memory storage. Like, it just seems like they're going to announce the NX in a couple weeks, especially fresh off the 3DS Direct, and they're going to be like, hey, by the way, that new Pikmin game, the new Super Mario Maker 3DS game, all of that, that's going to work on the NX.
Well, I think that maybe we talked about it on a previous episode, but just them, like, they really need to make, I think, the cartridges, they should make them just looking the same as the 3DS, or like very similar, so that they're basically, like, maybe have a look that's slightly different, because it's kind of like the DS games still fit into the same slot, but they look slightly different.
Imagine if it could play 3DS and DS, like, the NX then would have a huge library of games to play right off the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And that'd make sense then why they're porting these games over from the Wii U to basically porting them over to the NX by porting them to the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's definitely true. I think that's what it means for the NX.
Well,
Question.
the one thing with that I don't know about that because I still think they would port the games over to the NX because like for
HD.
example, yeah, because Yoshi's Woolly World, like some people are arguing one of the main sellers for Yoshi's Woolly World is how gorgeous it is.
Yeah.
The HD yarn effect, and putting it on 3DS, it's a huge downgrade in the quality.
It's gonna be 3D.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I'll probably get it again. There's new bonuses, and I'm so excited, and it looks
The
great.
Poochie
I
Amiibo.
love Yoshi's Woolly World.
I don't.
But
Someone
I
go
do
find
see
the
that
sound
point.
clip where I was talking about Poochie Amiibo. Like I love the Poochie guy.
I couldn't imagine though for the NX, the exclusive way to play Yoshi's Woolly World on the TV is Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World blowing up from that. You know, like
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I could see though. What would be awesome is if the NX gets a HD port of Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, you know, sort of thing with the bonuses, but now again in HD, like a third release of Yoshi's Woolly World. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it.
Question 4. What do we think of Nintendo developers porting home console games to the portable device? We kind of just talked about that, but I mean, we talked about way in the past that they've kind of combined their development studios into one. I think it's super interesting that we're kind of starting to see the effects of that. Like we've talked about it for a long time. Like what'll happen when Nintendo can develop solely for a handheld, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting to see that. And it's really interesting, I think, to see basically Nintendo's entire development force just going and making games for only one console, which at this point is only the 3DS. Like,
Yeah.
and how much of a turnover they can have. Like they have like big games coming out like every month for the next like 6 months now. Like huge games like Super Mario Maker, Pikmin, Animal Crossing updates, you know, like it's just it's not going to be a dry spell. And so
it's an interesting thought, like, because, I was thinking like Nintendo themselves as a publisher or developer, like the 3D Land, I feel like they've been doing this kind of a bit for a while where when they released 3D Land, it felt a bit like the development style of like the Wii U brought into this smaller version, and a lot of these games have kind of had that aesthetic of the Wii U, and we see it kind of with, I feel, the new Mario Party game and stuff, just the style, the text they use, the colors, and the, you know, everything about it kind of has, while it's still downgraded into almost, it's like they did it's slightly above N64, it's like kind of GameCube-ish maybe, but the way that they're able to use the hardware in that Nintendo sort of way, but it's also very much like a portable version of the Wii U experience. It's interesting because mostly their handheld experiences in the past have been very separated from their console experience. Like, you know, how the Game Boy Advance is like a dot matrix, like super old school sort of system when they're on the SNES, and then like the Game Boy Color is like an NES when they're on the N64, and the Game Boy Advance is an SNES when they're on the GameCube and Wii, and then the DS is maybe N64ish, but now it's like they're kind of matching up in some ways, or they're able to, like their studios are working on, so much they're working on a Wii U game, and then they're going to the 3DS, so they're using those same sort of techniques. They're able to bring those elements and those new polishes to these games, which is really nice. It's unfortunate, like they just need to have that extra boost of power, and I think the NX will definitely do that and allow them to just sort of just make the game, not have to do these two versions. So
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Nintendo's second half of 2016, at least in my mind, has been nonstop hype. Like, from the moment they announced the NES Mini, everything they've been saying, like marketing or pushing out, has, I think, been perfect.
It's about to amp up too. It's crazy too, because for a little while in 2016, kind of like the summer and a little bit before then, it was getting to a bit of a depressing time for Nintendo, just in terms of waiting. We kind of get these moments with Nintendo where it's like a roller coaster ride with them,
Yeah, and it seems
We're about to go up.
and
We're about to drop though on the
yeah, I mean,
Mamba.
and NES Mini. Then it was like, hey, by the way, the 3DS is like super cheap now, and you get a bunch of games with it. Hey, all these games are on sale. By the way, this is a direct. Here's all these new games coming out. NX is coming out soon. Oh, by the way, like it's been nonstop, and they've also been confident. They've been delivering everything like in a very purposeful way. They've been doing these Zelda snippets every once in a while, like their marketing team's on point. Like it's just been.
Also, we should be hearing soon about the Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem mobile games because it's getting to be like the fall when they said this autumn.
Yeah,
getting Animal Crossing.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Question number 5 of 6 questions. What do we think of these other Nintendo Direct highlights? And I'm gonna list them off real quick. We're just gonna do quick little bullet points going through them.
Yeah.
Because we've already talked about most of them. Super Mario Maker for 3DS. Real quick, I do want to say that it has no ability to upload courses online. All sharing must be local.
That is confusing. I want to know for sure when we get more information, the way that she worded that. I agree with you. That's definitely how it came across and probably the case. But that's absolutely what the heck?
Yeah, I think it makes complete sense. I think it makes complete sense that you make these courses on the 3DS and you share them with Street Pass, you share them with your friends sitting next to you, but uploading them to the server, no, you can't do that.
What?
It
seems like people could be making such amazing levels that are never going to be shared, only on the 3DS, and
they gotta have something exclusive to the Wii U is what I was thinking.
You're making these collaborative levels that nobody can. What?
Yeah, I don't know. That seems the way it is though, and I honestly don't feel I'm still gonna get it. I'm still so hyped for that. Like
I love the fact that it's like a continuous. You can go on there and see like the recommended courses, but also do the challenges and just like as an endless Mario game on the go.
It makes me think it's the same way of like you can't. Well, I guess you can. I was gonna say you can't like do like online Smash with a Wii U version. Like you can't. Like you can use your controller, but you have to, like, that's a controller then for the Wii U version. Like they're not cross-play, like cross-platform. And that makes me think it's the same way with this. The only interesting thing is that you can download the levels, but maybe there's a coding system where it's easier to pull than push back up onto the system. So, but I showed my wife it, and she's, like I said, she's been playing a ton of Mario lately, and her eyes just widened up, like, yo, I can make Mario games on my little 2DS? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, that sounds legit. And then we can collaborate and make levels together. Like, I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
So excited for that. And we've already talked about the idea of an NX port. Question 5B out of E, Poochie and Yoshi's Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. We just talked about this idea with like Poochie, and all that. And I'm also really hoping for a Mega Poochie. Man, gotta get that Mega Poochie in here. And maybe even more Yoshi.
A giant one. A giant Poochie.
Like one of those, like that Snorlax chair.
Yeah, didn't they make, a giant Yoshi?
No, they made a Mega Yoshi.
Well, I know, I have the Mega Yoshi.
Yeah, shut up, man. I want that one so bad. My wife has a little Pooh Bear, like a little Pooh Bear doll.
Yeah.
And I want my own little yarn Yoshi. Just hug it.
Yeah, but I want a giant Yoshi.
Alright. 5C, Mario Sports Superstars. Now this one, I'm surprised we haven't talked about it more. This is what I've always wanted out of both Mario standalone sports games and the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games.
It looks so good. It looks
like,
great.
And we've always we play a ton of Grand Theft Auto 5. We've mentioned that in the games we play or segment. And it's always weird that you have like Mario or Grand Theft Auto where you can do tennis, racing, swimming, water racing, flying racing, like all these different sports in one game, and then for $60 you can get Mario Tennis. Like, it's always one experience, and I'm like, they should make all of these games into one sports game. So it's like, oh, we'll get Mario and the Sonic at the Olympics. I'm like, no, I don't want Sonic and Shadow and Silver and Knuckles and Knuckles and Knuckles.
Yeah.
Like, I want Mario, and I want it to be just super refined. Like, the Olympic games aren't refined. They're more like quick time things. Like, I want sports games. And then this comes along, like, this was honestly, Super Mario Maker for 3DS is definitely the highlight of the show. You said Pikmin for you was like your most anticipated game. This is my most anticipated game out of the whole Direct. Like, especially like what it means for the series. Like, if they're going to do Mario sports games, like that's their new thing, instead of Mario Golf, Mario Tennis, Mario strikers,
Yeah, I saw golf in there, which was like, oh yes, thank God.
Like that's gonna be, oh man, I need to pre-order it as soon as I can. Like that's gonna be so hyped. That's all I really like to say about it. I mean, because there's nothing else to say, but yeah,
Because I love Strikers, that series. I love
and
golf.
soccer's in here. Like they have
Yeah.
everything. I think it's like every sport, like
Yeah.
even horse racing.
Yeah, that's
All right.
awesome. And then it has like that perfect online play, that capabilities where it seems very intuitive to just go online and find matches.
Yep.
Very cool.
Because Mario Golf on our World Tour was so perfect.
Yeah.
This is gonna be that with every sport. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise hit of the direct.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think that was a surprise hit. I think Pikmin kind of like really stood out to me, but the Mario Sports Superstars is kind of like the one that keeps like I keep being reminded of like, oh yeah, that's coming too, and I'm just like super hyped for that. It's like it kind of keeps slipping my mind of like all these things that came and were announced. It's like a lot to keep track of. The NX is coming, Super Mario Maker 3DS, and it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of how I think a bit of the curse of like tennis, and how a part of me wants to be skeptical and wants to be like, I hope this is great, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I have this feeling it's going to be great, but a part of me is like, hopefully they do this right.
That leads us to our next game, which is Mario Party Star Rush,
Yeah.
which was shown again in the direct. I think this is shaping up to be the best Mario Party in years.
Yeah.
Between the two of these games, I'm like freaking out over here because Mario Party Star Rush looks so fun.
Yeah,
like it's like the perfect Mario Party, and it's perfect on portable. Like being able to, everyone's playing at once. Like you're not splitting a screen. It's just you all have your own screen and you're just going. And there's like I don't know if they've shown this before, but I didn't realize you could start a mini game before someone else gets there.
Yeah.
It's like you show up in the mini game. It's like you've already collected like 5 mushrooms. Like crap, I gotta go. Like and collect more, but you can knock other people out that have more. Like it's just
it looks
a perfect
so fun.
balance. Mario Party Star Rush is actually our like second most popular snippet. Like there's some other hype for this out here too. We have lots of views on that one, like a few hundred I think or something. Like Typo Man got a ton, and then Star Rush got like the second. The new art looks super nice. Apparently it's not completely new, but it's the first time I'd seen it, and it looks like, thank goodness they did that. Hopefully,
yeah, super polished.
Hopefully they the other one was just a placeholder all along. Like I hope it wasn't.
I think that it was.
Yeah. And so that looks great. I mean, I'm also hoping the Zelda box art's placeholder. Like, that better not be the final box art. The one where it's like him with the arrow and it just has like little squigglies in the background. It's like terrible. People are posting that like on Amazon and stuff. Like, this is the final box art. And I'm like, no, it's not. It better not be. I'm gonna say that till the day they announce the real box art, because I'm like, I have never believed that's the final box art.
No way that Nintendo.
Dude, a lot of people are reporting that that's the real thing. Like, they're not like putting it in as placeholder. Like I think even IGN reported like box art revealed for Zelda. Like, I'm like,
there's just no way that an intelligent designer, like brilliant company such as Nintendo would not
use like some promotional game file on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it better not. It's gonna be like the.
I can't imagine like Miyamoto looking at that cover and like nodding his head like, yes.
Well done. And especially with how far the game's out, that can't be it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, for the highlights of the direct, we've already talked about it a lot, ad nauseum, as they say. Pikmin 2D side-scrolling adventure was announced. That's the final name. That's confirmed. Interesting new direction for the franchise. It makes me wonder if the 3D Pikmin game is dead, especially with the NX being the next like platform. Like, did they just not really find that a 3D adventure game worked well on a handheld? Makes me curious. I would have thought it would work great with the map at the bottom, just like the gamepad worked. But regardless, you kind of mentioned, Mario went from 2D to 3D and then back to 2D.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just the next step for him. I just hope, and I don't know why I have this worry, but I just worry that this is like the next like future of Pikmin. But I guess people were also worried about that with, Zelda going 3D, but then they brought back Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
So we'll probably see 3D
the one
Pikmin.
Thing I heard about this Pikmin game that kind of concerned me, which I don't know where this came from. It has nothing, because I did a little research, but somebody left a comment on this video, and they said, it would be great if it wasn't being developed by the Yoshi's New Island guys. And somebody was like, wait, what? Like, the Yoshi's New Island guys, like...
It looks very... Now that you say that, it does look very,
And that game was, like, notoriously, like, not taking the Yoshi's, like, in the way that it was classically envisioned, like when they did, on the DS, they did a Yoshi's Island game that was supposed to be pretty good, and then they did the Yoshi's New Island, which was like the music was horrible, and it was just like super, like, I don't know. I still need to get that, and maybe it's better than some people were leading us on to believe, because they did get, but I don't know. A lot of people said it kind of missed the spirit of Yoshi's Island.
Yeah,
and Yoshi's Woolly World definitely recaptured that. But I did do some research. I couldn't find anything that said anything at all about...
It was the developers, yeah. I'm checking real quick on a video game website called Kotaku.
It could have just been them making like a visual comparison.
Yeah, it looks a lot like that kind of style. Yeah. Real quick, looking at Kotaku, no mention of developer. Looking on Polygon, the latest Pikmin 3 was developed by yada yada yada. Checking change.org, there's a petition for Nintendo to cancel Pikmin 3DS. It has 246 supporters, and it needs to reach 500 for whatever their goal is. Wait, real quick, I'm going to read this. We as gamers, this is from change.org, quote, we as gamers have had to suffer a Pikmin drought for 4 years. That's not long, dude. We heard the hype and heard the promises, and we finally were about to receive an absolution on September 1st, 2016 with the announcement of a new Pikmin game. We saw the trailer, and what we saw left our mouths agape at the slap in the face we received from Nintendo of America that a new Pikmin game would play differently from the previous games in the series. We've been waiting for 4 years for a new Pikmin game, but we have been denied again despite fake pleading. Is this satire? I don't know if this is real or not.
I think it's got to be a little bit of satire put in there.
Because some of this stuff, yeah, enough is enough. This insult will not stand. It's time for Nintendo to start listening to their fans and make a real Pikmin game. Seems like it's kind of mirroring like the Metroid stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's update. I've been receiving numerous emails and messages regarding what constitutes a Pikmin game. Some have stated that this new side-scrolling platformer is the same genre as the original games. Let me tell you that I'm a fan of the original games. Number one, it makes like 4 points here. Update 2. Wow, nearly 250 people that'll join our cause. Maybe it's not satire. I don't know. But no
it's
mention
hard
of
to
the
tell
developer.
these days.
No mention of the developer there. And then last but not least, the Wikipedia page. Pikmin 3DS tentative title is an upcoming video game published by Nintendo for the Nintendo 3DS, which will set to release in 2017. The game was announced to be a 2D side-scroller game mainly using the touchscreen to throw the Pikmin. Publisher is Nintendo, series is Pikmin, platformer is 3DS, genre is platformer, mode is single player. No info on the developer. Real quick, last bit of research before we close out this topic of the show. I will go to the development studio behind Pikmin 3. The developers of that was Nintendo EAD, and they haven't focused on anything since.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's unconfirmed, a very, very tabloid rumor. You wouldn't want to be associated with the Yoshi's New Island, so we're just gonna go with that's not true.
Real quick. So Nintendo EAD has several development studios. The last one that group number 1 worked on was Mario Kart 8. The last one that group number 2 focused on was Happy Home Designer. Mm-hmm. The last one that group number 3 focused on was Link Between Worlds. They basically just do all of the Zeldas. Yeah. Group number 3. Oh yeah, group manager Ayanuma. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Group number 4 is headed up by Hiroki Kimura. And they developed all the new Super Mario Brothers series. Yeah. New Super Luigi U was their last game. Then they did Pikmin 3 and Super Mario Maker. So interesting that's interesting that those are the games they do.
That's a dialectic mix.
Yeah, and then group number 5, and then the last group number 5 did Wii Fit Plus, Steel Diver, Star Fox 64 3D, Wii Fit U, and Steel Diver.
Wait, what was up with that tank game? Like,
I don't know.
We didn't even really talk about it, but it's like
this is interesting to study this, right?
Why do they do that? They like do this what did they do, this submarine battle game once, and it's like, wait, what? And then it was like, It was like free to play, I think, or something like that. You got a couple submarine battle things for free, and now they got the tank battles. But it sprayed like a little paint in the guy's face, and then I was like, oh, I wish they would do a Splatoon. Bring that to 3DS.
Yeah, people should go check out this Wikipedia page for Nintendo Entertainment Analysis Development.
I think they could do a lot with Splatoon. Like, even if they turn it into like a 2D, like they could just take that franchise and spit it off in a whole bunch of ways.
Yeah. And last but not least, the topic of the show and what was discussed in Nintendo Direct was new Pokemon info, which we'll discuss up next in the Pokeblock. Any other closing thoughts? I don't think we have any. Awesome Direct. So be sure to go watch it if for some reason you haven't watched it yet. That concludes the topic of the show. Be sure to leave your thoughts down below as well as suggestions for future topics. And if you enjoyed our discussion, be sure to like, share, and review us on iTunes as well as other podcast services.